Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you all are fine and growing every day by increasing your knowledge and skills. We talked about what is the meaning of communication and the importance of the same in our last video. In this video, we'll talk more about non-verbal and verbal communication. So guys, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe now and don't forget to like and write your thoughts in the comment section. I'll try my best to reply to your questions and confusions. Okay? So, have you subscribed now? Do that first. Okay. So, let us talk about the non-verbal communication first. The basic form of communication is non-verbal communication. We all know, right? Body language. So, all cues, gestures, vocal qualities, spatial relationships and attitudes towards the time that allows us to communicate without words. Right or wrong? Right. These non-verbal cues are used to express superiority, dependency, dislike, respect, love and host of other feelings and attitudes. So guys, non-verbal communication differs from verbal communication in fundamental ways. For one thing, it is less structured, which makes it more difficult to study. You can't just pick up a book on non-verbal language and master the vocabulary of the gestures that are common in particular culture. So there is no book available for non-verbal communication, right? Non-verbal communication also differs from verbal communication in terms of intent and spontaneity. We generally plan our words. So when we say something, when we speak something, right, we have a conscious purpose in our mind. So before we speak something, we have specific purpose in mind to speak out. Okay. When we communicate non-verbally, we sometimes do so unconsciously. We don't mean to raise an eyebrow or blush. Those actions, comes naturally. Without our consent, our faces express our emotions. Non-verbal cues are especially important for conveying feelings. One reason for the power of non-verbal communication is reliability. Most people can deceive us much more easily with words than they can with their bodies. So, words are relatively easy to control, but body language, facial expressions and vocal characteristics are not. So we behave based on the situation through our body language. By paying attention to these non-verbal cues, we can detect deception or affirm a speaker's honesty. Non-surprisingly, we have more faith in non-verbal messages. If a person says one thing but transmits a conflicting message non-verbally, we almost invariably believe the non-verbal signals. So guys, sometimes people behave differently than they speak. So you can easily identify the body language. To a great degree, then an individual's credibility as a communicator depends on non-verbal messages. Non-verbal communication is important for another reason. It can be efficient from both the sender's and the receiver's standpoint. You can transmit a non-verbal message without even thinking about it, and your audience can register the meaning unconsciously. At the same time, when you have a conscious purpose, you can often achieve it more economically with a gesture than you can with words. A wave of the hand, a pat on the back, a wink, and so on, right? Although non-verbal communication can stand alone, it usually blends with speech, carrying part of the message. Together, the two modes of expression are a powerful combination, augmenting, reinforcing, and clarifying each other. Now, let us talk about the verbal communication. Although you can express many things non-verbally, there are limits to what you can communicate without the help of the language. Right or wrong? You can't express everything by your body language. When you have to say something, you have to say by language. So verbal communication is also the important aspect of a communication. If you want to discuss past events, ideas, or abstractions, you need symbols that stand for your thoughts. Verbal communication consists of words arranged in a meaningful pattern. To express a thought, words are arranged according to the rules of grammar, with the various parts of speech arranged in a proper sequence, right? The message composed is then transmitted in spoken or written form to the appropriate audience. So, in verbal communication, normally we consist like speaking, writing, listening. So let us first talk about speaking and writing. Business people tend to prefer oral communication channel to written ones. Basically, this preference reflects the relative ease and efficiency of oral communication. It is generally quicker and more convenient to talk to somebody than to write a memo or letter. So it is very important when to speak, when to write, right? Besides, when you are speaking or listening, you can pick up added meaning from non-verbal cues and benefit from immediate feedback. So this is also very important thing when you are speaking or listening. On the other hand, relying too heavily on oral communication can cause a problem in organization. As organizations grow and number of employees increases, keeping everyone adequately informed by word of mouth becomes difficult, right? So as team grows, as staff grows, as employee grows in the organization, not only verbal communication takes place. For maximum impact, business people should use both written and spoken channels. One company, for example, used multiple channels when it chose the multimedia approach to explain its new employee benefits plan. Employees received a printout of their benefits, a computer disk or a brochure, and a take-home video. So there are different ways through which organization communicates with employees when it grows. They also attended special face-to-face training meetings and were even given access to hotline. With so many choices available, employees were able to use the media they felt most comfortable with. As workforces grow and become more culturally diverse, such multimedia approaches are expected to become even more popular. Let us talk about the listening. Business people spend a considerable amount of time receiving information. Effective business communication thus depends not only on skill in sending information but also on skill in receiving information. Unfortunately, most of us aren't very good listeners, so this is really a drawback because people don't used to listen first before they speak. So, immediately after hearing a 10 minutes speech, we typically remember only half of what was said, right? So it happens. A few days later, we have forgotten most of the message, and to make matter worse, we probably didn't even grasp the subtle underlying meaning when we heard the speech. To some extent, our listening problems stem from our education or lack of it. We spend years learning to express our ideas, but few of us ever take a course in listening, right? Any one of you have done any course on listening? No. We used to listen by our, how we grow. Developing good listening habits is crucial if we want to foster the understanding and cooperation so necessary for an increasingly diverse international workforce. So guys, I hope you like this video, and if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please subscribe and press the bell icon. Pressing the bell icon will let you notify whenever I publish a new video to my channel. Also, please don't forget to comment your thoughts in the comment section. So thank you very much guys, and wish you best of luck in your career.